What is a shotgun microphone? A shotgun mic is a microphone that's specifically designed to be extremely directional. The name comes from the long barrel or tube called an interference tube extending from a typical shotgun mic. Because the polar pattern of a shotgun mic is characterized by pickup lobes in the polar pattern, you may encounter the term low bar in reference to these mics. You may also see them referred to as an interference-type line mic, and with other names as well. Shotgun mics are generally used to capture sound from distant sources while rejecting background sound. You often see them at press conferences, sporting events, and on TV and movie sets, usually mounted on a long boom pole or sometimes mounted to the top of a camera. In fact, we often use a shotgun microphone to capture our voices for videos here at Sweetwater because they provide a natural sound quality while not hindering movement or showing up on camera. A shotgun mic is almost always a condenser mic, though there also have been dynamic shotgun mics. The critical aspects of the mic is that interference tube I mentioned, which creates the extremely directional polar pattern. It works because the interference tube has a series of slots along its length. The slots affect the phase of incoming sound as it travels along the tube, reinforcing and canceling sounds from various directions. Though we often think of shotgun mics as having long-distance capture capabilities, in fact what they really have is enhanced ability to reject off-axis sound, allowing more distant on-axis sounds to be more clearly heard. Now let's take a closer look at how the interference tube works to allow the mic to focus on on-axis sound while rejecting off-axis sound. The interference tube does this by forcing the sounds from different directions to arrive at the mic's capsule in different ways. The idea is that the sounds in front of the mic enter the holes or slots in succession, one after another, and are added in phase by the time they reach the diaphragm. Sounds from the rear of the mic, however, pass through the slots in reverse order and cancel out as they reach the diaphragm. The result is that the polar pattern extends out the front of the mic while rejecting sound very well from the sides and the back. So the key is that interference tube. The longer the tube, the more directional the microphone becomes. As a related side note, that interference tube also affects another aspect of the shotgun mic's sound. The length of the tube is directly related to the lowest frequency that can be adequately canceled or rejected. The longer the tube, the lower the frequency that can be canceled. There are limits, of course. You'd need an interference tube more than 5 feet long to cancel down to 100 hertz. Because of this, the higher the frequency, the more directional the shotgun mic will be. Another important aspect is that a shotgun microphone must be fairly sensitive in order to capture sounds from a distance. The sounds are often low level by the time they travel across that distance to enter the mic, and that increased sensitivity has to be accompanied by low self noise to keep background hiss from the mic to a minimum. Of course, there are limits to all this. The best shotgun microphones have a range of 10 or more feet for effective pickup, while lesser quality shotguns might only reach 3 or 4 feet. The best shotguns also have the narrowest or tightest polar pattern and will reject the most sound from the sides and rear of the mic. All this means that shotgun mics are very sensitive to positioning, or rather they're sensitive to how you aim them. For best results, a shotgun needs to aim directly at the source you're trying to capture. A pro tip is to try to avoid aiming a shotgun mic at a hard surface. Reflections from the surface may cause phase problems or reduce the effectiveness of the interference tube. Shotgun mics can also be very sensitive to wind noise if they're used outdoors, and this is one reason you often see these mics enshrouded in a sound blimp or in a fuzzy covering that's sometimes known as a dead cat windshield. Shotgun mics also work better in larger spaces or outdoors than they do in smaller rooms because of the reflections. Although shotgun mics are most commonly used to capture a voice, a shotgun can be used anywhere you need to capture a sound source from a distance while rejecting unwanted noise from the rest of the room. Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about audio and music concepts like this, visit the news and research page at sweetwater.com or check out the other videos in our glossary terms playlist.